Welcome to Rig Trains. I'm Joey, and I got another show and tell for you. So, we're going back into the shelf of shame, and since we're into space right now, let's pull this one down, and that's the back of the box. Let's just see what we got. All right. 6925. This is the Interplanetary Rover, and this is 1988, but this is still a Samsonite set. It now says that it's packaged by Samsonite in Ontario, so I don't think any more manufacturing. I can't remember, late 80s, somewhere in there, Samsonite of Canada finally lost the contract to sell and manufacture Lego. So let's get into this one and see what we got. I don't even know what kind of parts we got in here. Hopefully we have all the parts. I'm not sure what kind of box we got. Oh, this one comes with a plastic tray. Interesting. Just a thermoformed tray. It isn't marked Lego. Check this out. Let's get this. Let's see. I think this is a little off. That in a better position. Yeah, the tray fits in the box. So must be... I had not seen this plastic tray before. Leave in comments if you've seen this plastic tray before. Okay, so we got the box, we got the tray, and we have instruction sheets. This one's interesting to looking build. Okay, so let's sort out the parts. This one came with two minifigs and two droids that are called minifigs. So they've put some of the parts, so that's a printed piece. Some of the parts are in baggies, separate. Get rid of that bag. Oh yeah, they've got this all bagged up. Okay, here's our two minifigs. Again, these are Futuron minifigs, so I'm not in the right spot here, am I? Try. There we go. Our Futuron minifigs. Got two of those in yellow. So they look to be in pretty good shape. All right. So yeah, we got see. It was like we got bagged wheels and then unbagged wheels. I guess I couldn't get them all into that bag. I don't know. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sort it out, and we'll high-speed build this, and then I'll be right back. right, so a few problems with the build. First off, we have these pieces extra. I haven't gone through Bricklink's inventory yet to see if those are extra or came extra or whatever, but I have those extra. I'm missing an inverted slope, one of these over there. Now, you might be thinking, well, there it is, Joey. Well, there it's not. That is a Mega Block. And speaking of Mega Block, so is this. So I ended up with 2 Mega Blocks. I caught this one right away in the sorting process, and I went ahead and got another 2x2 plate to replace the one in the set, because we are not putting Mega Blocks in any of our sets. And actually, you know, for the box and instructions to be in fairly decent condition, they're in really good condition. The tabs are there and everything. Nice tray. Still not sure about this tray, but it's a nice tray. It fits well anyway. The pieces are, as I like to say, well loved. They have been played with, and I would say that these pieces are probably, these pieces have been probably put together. Somebody has come across these instructions or had these instructions in box, tray, whatever, had all that stuff, or even pieced that stuff together, and then they went and they found the parts. You know, maybe they had some of the minifigs, I don't know. Oh, speaking of missing pieces, we are also missing one of our robots. So there's our robot. 2 yellow eyes, 2 arms, a shield, and this one we only have the body and the head, I guess you would call it. We're missing the eyes, the arms, and the shield. Shouldn't be too hard to get these parts. I probably even have the parts over there. I just didn't take the time to dig those out. But before it gets in the cabinet with the space, actually this is too old to go in the cabinet. So the cabinet's is only going to go up to 84. Nothing from 85 and beyond. So this is going to have to find a new home. It's also Futuron, not Classic Space. So another reason why it wouldn't go in the Classic Space cabinet. I think that's what I'm just going to start calling that, the Classic Space cabinet. It has pretty cool articulation on the wheels. Let's see, are we getting this in there? So use a Technic brick, a 1x6 brick, and then 2 wheels on a pivot point. And you know what, that makes for some pretty good. I wish I had something to run over. What do we got we can run over here? I ain't got. Here, let's run over a minifig. Maybe we can. Yeah, he wants to move too much. At any rate, it gives you pretty good little articulation there over my hand. So I thought that was kind of cool. So from a playability standpoint, from a set standpoint, this is a pretty good little set. You even have a little flyer. I like the little flyer. Little jet. Here, put your helmet on straight there, dude. Little jet scooter thing, pretty cool. Lands right there in the back of the ship, and then or the vehicle. What did we say this was? The Interplanetary Rover. I'm not sure how they got this from planet to planet without assistance. Obviously, we have some cool little radar dishes here. I assume they are looking for something. Maybe part of the whole Futuron storyline. You know what? The Futuron storyline is not something that I'm real privy to, so probably should look that up. So 1988, 2 figs, 2 robots is what came in the set. It was like a $20 to $25 retail set. I think it was probably like $20.99 or something like that. One of those weird kind of sets or prices. Because we're all fooled by 99 cents, right, as consumers. If you want one now, if you want a used complete, it's going to be about $65. If you want one complete, probably sealed, new, it's going to be $350. And then somewhere in between, you know, if you have instructions or good instructions or a better box, the price is just going to continue to get up off that $65 mark all the way up to like a sealed $350 set. Bricklink says 217 pieces. The box says 201. I did not sit down and do the math on how far apart you have to take the minifig to get to that 217 pieces, or what the difference was. So yeah, overall, I'm actually very impressed with this little Futuron. This would be the time of the monorail, right? So this is the Futuron monorail, you know, so the classic space train, but not part of classic space. Yeah, I like it. I really do. I like the set. I do not like these pieces. In fact, I probably will go through and replace a few of them. The problem with replacing pieces in sets like this is not getting the parts. It's easy to get the parts. In fact, I could probably replace most of these with new parts if I wanted. Now I have the extra cost. I have these as a cost. So it's getting that patina, right? So if you look at this, it's really yellowed there on one side. There's obviously been some kind of sticker probably on there. So this is probably in another set that uses the same piece. You can definitely see the difference between the yellow and the white there. This piece has faced the sun a lot more than this piece. Overall, the whole set has yellowed some, regardless of the sun. The whites and the grays, some of those lighter colors, they just tend to yellow over time anyway. And it's really apparent when you put a brand new white piece up against it. I had the I'm not sure where I even put it, the 2x2 white plate, I put it in here somewhere, is brighter than almost all the other parts in the set. I guess I hit it pretty well. It just is, what did Jamie call it? The warm glow, the vintage warm glow or something like that. Brickmaster Jamie. And yeah, so getting that matched up, so you almost have to pull it from used parts that you already have. Fortunately, I have quite a few used parts, but again, that patina match can get kind of rough. And then you gotta, it's like anything, you know, how far do you go? Do you replace all the parts and then you have all these parts, which, you know, I would not sell these in my Bricklink store. Yes, they're used, but they're pretty rough. So I don't know, I think I'll just clean up a few of the pieces, some of the bigger ones. This castle corner piece, both of those I'm probably going to clean those, or not clean them, but get new ones. I might get a couple new here. That might even be that new white plate right there. It looks pretty good. And I think that'll be about it. Give it a good bath. Retrobrighting. Everybody says, oh, retrobrighter, that'll clean that right up. And it will, for a little bit. Retrobrighting does two things in my experience. One is it just takes a little bit away from the plastic, right? It just does. It's just going to take a little bit out of the plastic. It will turn it back white, or the grays. It'll get rid of the yellowing. It'll get rid of that. It'll get whatever that is. You know, there's some of it's color fade because of the sunlight, and some of it is actually plastic leaching out, like bromines and some other things. Because you can have parts that come straight out of a sealed box, and they will have already discolored to some degree. I've seen parts that are laying on top of each other, and apparently been laying on top of each other in a box, and no way there's been sun, but you have a stripe, very faint, but you have a stripe, and that's just where they were touching. And plastics are weird, and it's not Lego's fault; it's just plastic. So I'm not a big fan of retrobrighting, because the other big thing about retrobrighting, other than it's just going to take a little away from the plastic, it's actually going to come back. It will continue to do it again, and it won't take it what seems like 10, 15, 20 years. You can retrobright something in just a few months. It will come back. If it's exposed to sunlight, it will come back fairly quick, especially if it was already sun damaged. So, okay, 6925, the Interplanetary Rover from Futuron Space. I like it. It's a good little set. Definitely a playable vehicle. Dakota's gonna love this one. So, thanks for watching. So you made it to the end of the line. Usually I have a comment at this time, but I just wanted to mention that the color in this video that you just watched is really off, and I just used my GoPro for the first time in a while, and it was really, it had defaulted back to some weird settings or something. I don't know. Anyway, I tried to fix it, but I couldn't get the color match quite right. So I just wanted to take this time to apologize for the coloring.